Today we are softening the outer edges that come from trying to hold on to control.
Welcome back. I am so glad that you joined me today. If you can, sit on a pillow or a blanket just to elevate the hips a little bit and to give you a little bit more space. And remember, you can always sit with your legs out straight. Close your eyes and begin to follow your breath as it moves in and out of your body. There's nothing to do or change or fix. It's just a simple observation. Noticing the quality of the breath, noticing how your body feels in this moment. And begin to turn inward to that place of stillness and peace within you. One of my yoga teachers used to say, soften your outer edges. And it took me a little while to figure out what she was really talking about. That yes, it does have a lot to do with your physical body, but it also has to do with the hardened outer edges that we put around us as protection. Our focus for today is on the hip flexors and softening those outer edges. The hip flexors can tighten up from sitting too much at a desk, but they can also take on an energetic tightening when we feel out of control or insecure or uncertain. And any time that we are in deep stress, our physical body in going into the fight, flight, freeze, submit mode will tighten the hip flexors because we're trying to physically protect our internal organs that are all, for the most part, right in that core area. So even if we're not thinking about it or we're not crouching to hide, our body is tightening in preparation for that. Let's begin with a breathing exercise to help us release some of that stress. It's a 3-part inhale and then an exhale through the mouth softly, like you're blowing a butterfly off of your hand. So release your breath completely. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, pause. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, pause. And inhale 1, 2, 3, pause. Exhale softly. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Inhale 1, 2, 3, pause, exhale slowly. One more time. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Pause, exhale slowly. Bringing your palms together in that Anjali Mudra, the thumbs facing the center of the chest, bow the head, honoring the light that is in you, the light that is all around you. And we'll start coming up into a standing position. If you have that blanket, you can open it up so that you're able to get a little bit more cushion for your knees. Stand up at the top of the mat. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, reach the arms out and down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach down. One more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come halfway up. And exhale, step back with your left foot and let the knee drop down onto the blanket. Slide the hands up to the top of the thigh. Lift the heart and deepen just a little bit more into it. Keep the toes tucked under on the left foot so that you can press the ball of the foot into the floor and find a little bit more lift. You'll get a nice stretch in through that left hip flexor. Take your left arm up and stretch just slightly to your right. 3 more breaths. Bring it back up. Take your left hand to the inside of that right foot. Twist. So you want to think about the right hip dropping down just a little bit. Twist a little more and then reach up with the right hand. 3 breaths right here. Bring the hand down to the inside of your right foot. So now both hands are on the inside of the foot. Let your right knee drop to the side so you're coming onto the outer edge of that right foot. This may be enough of a stretch as you let your hips sink forward. But if you want to take it a little bit further, you can reach your hands forward and try to lengthen through the spine. Drawing the shoulder blades together just slightly. 2 more breaths. This is a pretty intense stretch in through the outer edge of the hip. Bring the hands back up. Lift the knee. Take your hand on the outside of the right foot. Lift your left knee. Step it forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale down. Inhale, step back with that right leg. Drop the right knee down. Bring the hands up to the top of the left thigh. The right foot is still toes tucked under, pressing into the ball of the foot, and lift the heart. Bending the knee. I have a bunion on my right foot, and this position with my foot is pretty intense. So if you have a bunion or you have anything in the toes that prevent them from flexing, you can take the toes to an untucked position. It's just a little bit harder to get that resistance, so you have to really be mindful about lifting up tall through the upper body as you're sinking a little bit deeper. Take your right hand to the inside of the left foot. Take your left thumb to your thigh crease and press that hip down as you twist to your left, reaching the left arm up. 3 breaths. Bring your left hand to the inside of the left foot. Let the left knee drop out to the side. Soften the hips just a little bit. Lengthen through your spine. And maybe you can walk the hands forward. If you are one of those fortunate ones who have very open hips, you can take the elbows down. As I'm filming this, it's a pretty cold morning where I am, and so my hips are having nothing to do with the elbows going down. Welcome to the aging process. My friends warned me about this. I believe them now. 3 more breaths. We oftentimes just have to be willing to be present in our body. Walk the hands back. Lift the knee up. Tuck the toes under and step forward. Being willing to be present with wherever we are in our bodies as we show up on the mat that day. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, take the left foot back again. Drop your left knee down. Now pick the left foot up, take it over to past the right side of the mat. And then take your right hand on the inside of your right foot. The left hand goes to your hip as you start to turn your chest towards the left side of the mat. And take your left arm up and forward. So from my hip down to my knee, I'm pressing down into the mat. And from my hip up to my fingertips, I'm reaching out through the fingertips, getting 2 very big stretches in opposite directions. Opening the chest a little more. Maybe you can look up at the ceiling. And release the hands back down, turning the foot back. Take your right hand on the outside of that right foot. Switch your feet. Dropping the right knee down, the right foot picks up and goes to the left side of the mat. The left hand comes to the inside of the foot. Right hand to the hip as you twist open to the right side of the mat. Right arm goes up and over. Press down from your hip to your right knee, and then stretch from your right hip all the way out through the right fingertips. 3 breaths here. As you exhale, fold forward and step back. We're going to move the blanket off of the mat for this next one, coming onto your back. The knees will be bent, and you walk the feet open off of the mat. I go about 6 inches off of the mat now. It may be too much for you, and so you may want to be a little bit closer, but I like it a little bit wider apart. It gives me a deeper stretch. Let the knees fall in towards one another, coming onto the inner edge of your foot. Now, you may feel this in the groin. You may feel it in the outer edges of the hips. If it's too intense, back off just a little bit. If you find that as you drop your knees down, the rib cage wants to pop up, bring it back down. Let the hands rest down for the side. We'll take 5 breaths here. If this is too much, you can do one side at a time for a couple of breaths, and then switch, do the other side for a couple of breaths. And bring the knees back up, walk the feet back together, roll onto your side, using your right arm as a pillow. The left hand comes in front of the chest and you press up into a seated position, extending the feet out. Legs nice and straight. Take the right foot, press it flat onto the floor on the outside of your left leg. Hug with your left arm on that right knee. Right hand goes behind the hip and you twist, finding length. So you want to stay stacked right over your hips. Oftentimes people will lean back, they'll lean forward, they do all sorts of crazy things to compensate for any tightness that is here, but we're hugging the knee in. The knee then presses back into the arm. That gives you some resistance. It also opens up that hip just a little bit more. 2 more breaths as you pull the left toes back towards your body. And bring it back to the front, other side. Placing the left foot on the outside of the right leg, growing an extra inch tall. The left hand is behind the hip, the right arm hugs the left knee. Press the knee and the arm together and grow an extra inch taller. Looking to your left side and pulling the right toes back towards the body. 3 more deep breaths here. Come back to the front. Bring your blanket back onto the mat or your pillow back onto the mat. Have a seat on it. Coming into that comfortable seated position, closing your eyes and beginning to follow the breath in and out of the body. Just observing it, noticing the quality of it. Cultivating kindness, joy, compassion, and surrendering attachment to expectations and outcomes, the mind becomes serene and benevolent. I'd love to repeat that one for you. Cultivating kindness, joy, compassion, and surrendering attachment to expectations and outcomes, the mind becomes serene and benevolent. And that is how we soften our outer edges. Inhaling for a count of 3, 2, 1, pause. Inhale 3, 2, 1, pause. Inhale 3, 2, 1, pause. Exhale slowly. Inhale 3, 2, 1, pause. Inhale 3, 2, 1, pause. Inhale 3, 2, 1, pause. Exhale slowly. Last time, inhale 3, 2, 1, pause. Inhale 3, 2, 1, pause. Inhale 3, 2, 1, pause. Exhale slowly. Bringing the palms to the heart. It is an honor and a pleasure to guide you. Thank you for that opportunity as you move through your day today. Work on cultivating kindness, compassion, and joy. And work on releasing your grip just a little bit of the need to control anything. The need to have a certain goal turn out just a certain way, because what I have learned is when we are willing to be surprised, when we are willing to let go of our attachment to that outcome, that's not saying let go of the goal, but just knowing this is the goal and there are an infinite number of outcomes that can come about to it. And some of them, many of them, may even be far more exciting, adventurous, wonderful than I can possibly imagine. And certainly for you, more than you could possibly imagine. So today, as you move through your day, practice that softening of the outer edges. Until next time, be whole.
If you like what you see here, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.